Welcome back, you guys, to Life by the Slice, where we are taking life one slice at a time. I'm so surprised I'm even getting that shit right. Kudos to me. So, alrighty, we are now in part 6, and I'm just really trying to dwindle this down and really give you guys as much insight and as much information as possible before it really just turns into a long rambling session. If I could have filmed just one long session, one long hour and a half session, I would have done that, but I was having a bit of issues and I don't know how to do that with my camera. So we have this for now. So we are now in part 6. So let's just get into the topics and let's just get into the juicy discussion and my road post-HIV diagnosis. So now we're talking after. I finally start, blessed be, and thank God, I finally started taking my medicine. My sister Brittany took me to Evergreen to get my medicine. I met the doctors and everything, got my blood drawn, and got welcomed into the, I don't like to use the word HIV and AIDS community. I really don't like that. I'm really not sure. But Evergreen was doing their best to get me acclimated into society as someone with HIV. And shout out to Evergreen, they're the best. I'm still going through counseling there today. That's my primary care, and they're amazing people. So, alrighty, so now I have my medicine. My sister takes me out, and in the middle of waiting for my medicine, shout out to my little sister Brittany, I love you to death. She takes me out. We smoke like 2 blunts, and mind you, I already have weed in my system. So the fact when I got back to rehab, when they did their little drug test for me, my levels were so high anyway that they didn't even know I smoked weed. But my sister, she had me out, and while we were smoking, she parked us over by Shoreline Apartments. If some of you from Buffalo are pretty aware of Shoreline Apartments downtown, they aren't Shoreline Apartments anymore because of construction. But she took me down there and we just had a real deep conversation about the fact that I made it a week in rehab without having discharge or had run away like I had done 3 weeks prior to me getting into Tara's house. I was actually there 3 weeks prior to my stint there, which I found out about my HIV diagnoses, but 3 weeks prior I didn't know, and I was just coming out of a psych ward. ECMC, shout out to ECMC too. Oh my God, ECMC psych ward, how embarrassing. But anyways, as we move along, so I end up getting my medicine. I'm on track, but I'm still on the brink of divorce. My husband still wants to divorce me. But yeah, he still wants a divorce, and he got an HIV test as soon as possible. As soon as I told him he got it, which thank God he doesn't have it. My husband is HIV negative. So anyone watching that, just know that. We are in a serodiscordant relationship, which means that we are a couple where one of us has HIV and one of us doesn't. That's what serodiscordant relationships mean, which I'll get into at a different time. But despite being on the brink of divorce, I was still pushing forward. I was broken. I was completely broken. But God just kept coming through. He kept coming through. And I was just becoming happy about the little things because I started to realize how many I dodged several bullets. because at that point, if I didn't go to rehab, I was going to be doing a year in jail and I was going to be a felon. So I wouldn't have known that I was HIV positive in jail because I would have denied testing. I wouldn't have been thinking anything of it. So I would have been really, really sick at that point, which thank God I'm not, and I've survived. God knew what he was doing. So I'm just doing a really good job at this point. I'm rocking the shit out of my program. I was flourishing so fast and so quick. I think certain people were kind of I think certain people were kind of questioning me, or questioning it, or kind of giving me the side eye as into if it was genuine or not. But it was, and I I was in my treatment, doing what I needed to do, and I ended up going. I was in detox at this time, and I ended up moving upstairs, which was called CS2. That means you're out of detox and you start the actual program. And damn, yeah, I still had a week. I did my other weekend. Oh no, no! Before we get forward, I had a gentleman tell me after my HIV diagnosis, and I kid you not, because I wanted to beat the living fuck out of this kid, and I still kind of do because I don't like how mean spirited it was. When I told the crew, or told everybody, that I was HIV positive, this man looks at me and says, "Well, Celine, it was nice knowing you." That I'm gonna just leave that at that. That was probably the most horrible experience I had gotten since getting my HIV diagnosis. It was mean. It was evil. It was fucked up. And I did say something equally as rude back, but I didn't mean to, because at that time, if I had known what I knew now, I would have just kept it moving. But I said something that was just as equally as fucked up. I told him pretty much I hoped that he died of a... No, I didn't say I hoped. I said, "You're going to die of a drug overdose before I die of HIV." And that was my words, word for word. And that's on my little brother. But I shouldn't have said that because it's rude. You get what I mean? You don't fight fire with fire. And I'm learning that. And I'm a lot better with that now than I used to be. And I'm proud of myself. That's where the change came in. But moving into a week later, I finally move upstairs, which is a better environment, but I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. I was doing great at my program, great in rehab. I knew the whole community. It was like home. I was good. I was safe. But I was alone. And my husband not wanting to have anything to do with me or talk to me, it just shattered my whole life was shattered. It was. And baby, on video, I am telling you this so you can always remember this. On camera, I will always love you. I will always love you. I will always do anything for you. I would die for you. And I hope you always remember that. And I hope you always remember how much I love you. Thank God you gave me another chance. And I appreciate that. And I love you. But getting back into the story, I finally move upstairs. And me and my husband finally get the first phone conversation I heard from my husband since him saying that he wants a divorce. I get on the phone thinking that maybe his mind changed and he still wants this divorce. That's probably the worst. The worst. But I took it like a man. I did. And my husband at the time thought I was being nonchalant about it, but truth be told, I wasn't being nonchalant about it. I was just in a good place where I was being taught coping skills and all different sorts of skills. So I was applying them firsthand with him right then and there over those phone conversations. And when I finally got upstairs, I recall him saying to me, "I don't like what I found in your messages." Which I mentioned to you guys before, all of the cheating that I had done. He found messages from me and another guy the night that I was put into a psych ward. And none of it was true, but I was so drunk. I didn't even remember this shit happened. And before I knew it, I just kept trying to explain to my husband, like, it's not true, it's not true, it's not true. And before I knew it, I had blacked out. Which I'm thinking only under the influence of